Hey all, and this is the Cosmic Watchers event. This is a Dark Commander event and Arcane Killer. So my main two teams or ideas are the two you can see here. The first one is basically to get Lost Covenant to do as much damage as possible. And the second one is to get Defraggers to do the same. I'm pretty sure the Lost Covenant team, though, is the better team. In my previous Dark Commander video, this was the team I was using for most of the event. Damage bonuses normally outweigh attack bonuses. Anyway, this is the team from left to right. There's no event cards in this team. Long Night Harbingers. This is a pretty decent card actually, mainly for that damage buff that it has on the card. Also Immortal Killer as well, so one you could consider trying to boost up if you're struggling for ideas. You can boost that up with Area, is what I mean by that. Then Metaverse Masters. This is pretty much essential for a lot of teams nowadays. Gives the next hero to use their battle skill a 150% damage buff. That's used to boost up Lost Covenant. This is the main hitting card and one of the best dark cards I have. Increases self-damage by 300% for one turn. Converts all non-dark power gems to dark, upgrades, then creates power gems. It's just an amazing card. That's why I have it on 5 pink stars and 5 times awakened. Definitely my main hitting card, that's for sure, and will be for a long time I would have thought. Seaborn Scallywags. This is the card with the killer skill for this event. Pretty decent card actually. Creates power gems, upgrades, and increases commander damage. So yeah, well worth using if you don't have the event ultimate form. I actually think in some ways this card may be better than the event ultimate form. You will need to do some testing to find that out for yourselves. Then Lords of Zybalba. Again, increases Dark Commander damage, making it a really good card. On attack, creates 7 Dark Power Gem 6s. Has a revive on it as well. Yeah, that's the basic team I've made up so far. There is one other idea though. I'm just going to bring this up. What I could do with this team if I could find the card. So it's basically the card from this ultimate form that increases the Dark Commander damage. Which I think is this card here if I remember correctly. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. So what I could do is put that on the team instead of one of the last two cards. It's worth trying to see if it increases the damage or not. It might do, it might not. I'm going to test it out at some point anyway. Probably not in this video though. Now moving on to the relics. This is the event ultimate relic. Pretty much essential since I don't have too many other Arcane Killer Dark Commander relics. I kind of needed that on the team. It's enough on its own to break all the shields. Then it's just my best Dark Commander relics basically on the team. There we go. I don't really like using off-colour relics, but if I couldn't get that relic, I'd have to do so, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what I'm using for the relics. Nothing too spectacular, but pretty decent relics. I want to try and level up the event relic. That will hopefully help out the team a bit. Right, so let's look at the area-based team. It's not going to be as effective as the first team, but it's an idea to make up if you can't make something similar to the first team. High performance unit area gets that lovely supercharge buff up. You want to use this card on the first turn if you can. Increase Immortal Killer attack by 2,500% once the buff is up. Metaverse Masters. Next hero to use their battle skill a 150% damage buff. That's used to boost up the fraggers. Increases self-damage by 50% for one turn. Dispels one enemy buff and cleanses one debuff, so should be useful for the bosses as well. And the Seaborn Scallywags increases Dark Commander damage. Long Night Harbingers again increases the Dark Commander damage by 140%. That's something to try anyway. If you can't make up the first team, then basically the same relics. I don't think there's too many other ideas, unfortunately, so hopefully you can make up something similar to one of these teams. There is one other card that might be useful. Here's Extraordinaire. I know this is quite an old card, but if you don't have any modern Arcane Killer Dark Commander cards, you may need to use this on the team. It's not a bad card. It creates quite a few power gems, but compared to nowadays cards, it's a bit outdated. But if you do have to use that, then it's something you can use. But that gives you a few ideas anyway. Now we're going to move on to the vault. This is what I got from the vault. Here we go. Alright, so this is actually before the event begins. I'm going to be opening the vault. Now, I'm not overly impressed by this deck, if I'm being honest. It doesn't have any damage boost. It creates a lot of power gems and increases its own damage, but there's a much better Dark Ultimate form, Uprising Coven, I believe it is, that has a bigger self-damage boost. So, yeah, not overly keen on this deck, but I need the relic, so let's get the relic. You never know, I might get the deck as well, but not with junk like that from the vault. Right. So I think I'll just go up to where it gives me the rare relic, unless I get a rare relic earlier. Anything good? Nope. Right, tier 3. Here we go. This is the main relic. See what I get here. Anything else to go with it or not? We will see. There's the main relic and a silver hero. I believe that may be a main. Yes, it is a main. Then junky items. This is a very expensive relic, may I add, but I kind of need it to play the event. So I'll get the final tier that has the master hero later on, probably. Oh, something gold. Is that a main, isn't it? Yeah, main event relic. And the soul. Silver hero. That looks like a support hero. Yeah, again, the vault really is junk. Right. Final tier I'm doing. This will give me the rare relic, and that will allow me to at least play the event without needing weird coloured relics. That's the support, isn't it? Then this should be the rare relic. There we go. Then junk, 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 more junk, more junk. Absolute garbage. This game always does this. I'm surprised anyone spends real money on this game, to be honest, with the junk you get from the vault. But there we go. That's all I'm doing for the vault for now. Now we get on with the actual event. Here we go. Alright, so let's play some Crusade. Always going to stick with the Umbral Crusade. And as with previous videos or events, I'm going to go down to the bottom first to see if there are any adventurers. If there's not, then use one of my allies. Now, Here's Extraordinaire is an alright card, but it will slow things down, so I think use one of my friends. I'll start from the bottom. Here we go. Alright. This is Umbral level 16. Oh, we're starting with a boss. Okay. So I think for the waves, you only really need to use Metaverse Masters and one other card. For the bosses, I think you can get away with Lost Covenant and Metaverse Masters, and that should be close to being enough, but I'll use another card as well just to be on the safe side. There we go. That should easily defeat the boss. Yeah, 2.1 trillion on Lost Covenant. So, for the waves... Oh no, we're getting another boss. Oh, nice. Quite unusual to get multiple bosses. Normally get waves upon waves of enemies. So this time I've just tried using the 2 cards. Let's see if that's enough. Yes, it is. There we go. Enough to take down the boss. So just 2 cards, Metaverse, Masters, and whatever seems to be the way to do this. Deep Seaboard Scaling, yeah, that's Dark Commander damage for 3 turns, so I want to keep that going if I can. To use that whenever it's active might be a good idea, just to increase the damage. It's ripping through the enemies pretty quickly though, so I'm doing okay. Then again, this card, Metaverse Masters, let's try it on its own actually. See if that's enough to get through the enemies or not. It might not be. I'm only really doing this to test it out. There seems to be 2 cards though. Oh no, that's enough. Probably because it has the damage buff up as well. And then for the final boss, it's the Sphinx that's giving the solo bosses, and that's spawned. So if you can't defeat the solo bosses, stay away from this end boss. At this point, you would quit out, but I'm not going to, since I can defeat the solo bosses relatively easily. And for the end boss, I'm going to use all the cards that I have available. And that should easily defeat it with a bit of luck. Here we go. Decent hit coming up, maybe. Yeah, 35.5 trillion on Lost Covenant. That's not bad at all. And there we go. That's the Crusade done. Solo boss at the end and bonus trophies. Bonus trophies are always nice. Key gifts as well. There we go. That's the Crusade. Alright, so here's the solo boss. This is quite near the start of the event still. Only level 15, so I'm going to use my event team. I think this is the better out of the 2 teams. On the guild bosses, I'm going to test out a bit better though. So these do have dodge as well, so that's something to bear in mind. But dodge shouldn't be too much of a problem, as you can just wait until it expires. So I think just left to right is the best way to use this team, as long as you have the dark gems near the start. Otherwise you need to use Metaverse Masters first, and then hope there's a few loose gems. There's 1 loose gem, so let's see what this does. Yeah, 12Q, that's not ideal. I've had over 20Q with this team, but it gives you an idea of what sort of damage it can do at a minimum, so to speak. Yeah, that's the worst hit I think I've seen from this team so far, so the guild bosses will be a better opportunity to test out these teams. Alright, so moving on to guild bosses, this should be a better opportunity to test out my teams, since these have higher health. The major problem, or possible problem, with these bosses could be dodge. I think, though, I could just wait for it to expire, since it's only 3 turns. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. If you're having problems, you can use defraggers, but bear in mind, it will only remove 1 of the 2 debuffs. Let's give this a go anyway, and then I'll try my area team. Right, here we go. So same as before, I think this time I'm going to use Metaverse Masters first, just to mix things up a little bit. You have to use Lost Covenant immediately afterwards. And let's try something like this to try and get the loose gems. Oh no, that's not optimal at all. The whole board crushed together, so yeah, don't do that again. It's still pretty reasonable damage though. Oh yeah, defraggers will remove dodge, since the other skill affects my cards, so defraggers will remove both of the debuffs. Since you don't really use turn delay against most guild bosses, well, not unless you're using something like the jailers. Shouldn't be too much of a problem there. I just have to wait 1 more turn though until dodge has gone. So yeah, no problems with the defender skills. This time I think 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1. Let's see what this does. Again, it's all crushed together. I think that was the same order I did it in last time, actually. It's not optimal at all. I think this time just go left to right. Just go left to right and see what that does. Right, here we go. Let's try a left to right approach once dodge has gone down on the boss. Don't want to do it before then, of course, otherwise they'll probably dodge the main attack, or most of the attack anyway. Yeah, you just have to wait an extra turn when using this team. That's not a big deal. And yeah, just left to right, I think, is what I could try and see if this does more damage. Hopefully it will. Right, here we go. Hopefully a few loose gems. Yeah, it doesn't all crush together. That's a lot better. There's 2 loose power gems. That should do considerably more damage. Yeah, there we go. 28Q. So that's the activation order, I think. Just go left to right. I still need to test things out, though, which is why I'm making this video, or part of the reason anyway. Yeah, there's the next guild boss. I'm going to try out my area-based team. I don't think it will do anywhere near as much damage, though. Right, here we go. So with the first team, it was just left to right, giving the best results. Maybe mixing up the 4th and 5th cards in the order I activated them. Now let's try this team. You have to use Metaverse Masters, then Area. I don't think it will do anywhere near as much damage though, but it's worth a test. So defraggers will remove dodge. And then I think something like that is probably optimal. Yeah, 1 loose power gem on the board, you saw that. Let's see the damage, it's only 5.6Q. So yeah, it's nowhere near the damage of my other team. As you can see, the damage bonuses far outweigh the attack bonuses. So yeah, if you can use 4 damage boosting cards and 1 hitting card, the event ultimate form can be used as the hitting card, but it's not as good as Uprising Coven. No, it's not Uprising Coven, Lost Covenant, that's what it's called. I'm trying to think of the name. Easy to get the names wrong. Right, yeah, this isn't going to do as much damage. There's lots of loose power gems this time around, but I still don't think the damage will be that high. Yeah, we can establish this team is not very good. Try and make something similar to the first team if you can. The main hitting card, as I just mentioned, is Lost Covenant. The stronger that card is, the better. 5 times Awakened here with 5 pink stars. It definitely deals the damage, that's for sure. But there we go. That hopefully gives you an idea of what I could do to the guild bosses. So that's the event pretty much covered. Let's start looking at the rewards this time around that we have. So a little bit disappointing. Potions. Why? At least there's epic potions at the bottom though. They're not too bad. So I might as well go ahead and just claim all of this. There we go. Yeah, the epic potions are okay. The rest of it's a bit... yeah. I believe there's potions in the Guild Supremacy collection as well. You can see them all there. I'm not going to claim any of these as of yet. And then, what have we got this time around? Let's have a quick look. It's either a Light Dragoon or Warden. Oh, Light Warden, okay. Nothing to get too excited about. Light is one of the weakest colours in the game. Arguably the weakest. Counter-attack is a semi-decent defender skill though. Yeah, I never say, or should I say, I don't advise using Light Wardens on your defence. Unless you have Dark Wardens as well. Counter-attack's not a bad skill. Maybe one to consider using if you have, say, 4 dark defenders and want a light defender to sort of mix up the defence. Right, and I might as well go and claim the 6 pink star hero. Oh, not pink, is it? It's just normal 6 stars. Yeah, it would be nice if it was 6 pink stars, but it's not. It's just 6 stars. Whatever it is, let's see what it is. I think that might be the main hero, actually. Now, I could maybe get this deck with coins. I completed the collection other than the event Ultimate Form Ultra Rare Master Hero. So maybe I will get this near the end of the event after I get the gems from the event rewards. I don't know yet. I have to think about that. Anyway, that's what the event rewards look like this time around. So moving on to the news feed. Let's have a look at what we got. They're pushing Wardens at the moment, but I believe this is all stuff that requires real money, so not something I can really talk too much about. Pink Star Challenge, I think this is a total waste of time. Yeah, 100,000 gems, but they're all gone by the time I come online, so what's the point? It's just really unfair to those who don't have sort of time zones where you can be on at reset. So I don't know why this is even a feature, if I'm being honest. Shouldn't even be in the game, but anyway, let's go on to the Vault and the event Ultimate Form. So why don't I like this Ultimate Form? Well, simply put, it's a weaker version of Lost Covenant by the looks of it. Only increases self-damage by 100% rather than the 300%. It creates a lot of power gems, but no damage buff for the other cards either, so yeah. However, after being attacked, delay all enemies' next attack by 1 turn, so you could maybe use this with the jailers. That's something you're going to have to try out if you have this event Ultimate Form. I think what I used is probably going to be the best option, if I'm being honest. The jailers is going to make quite an awkward team, but it's worth trying, I guess. And there we go, that's the end of the video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to help. If you did enjoy this video, giving it a like and subscribing is always appreciated. Thank you to those that have already subscribed. There are a few other videos on the screen you may enjoy as well. Feel free to check those out if you want to do so. And thanks for watching.